Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 13, I think. I hope everyone is doing well, staying safe, healthy, hopefully at home. If you have to be out there, I hope all of you are safe. I'm fine. I'm in my house. I'm doing a lot of puzzles. I didn't know I liked puzzles, but, it's a time to find out things about yourself. Playing Words with Friends. One of my opponents just scored 101 points against me on one move, so I kind of lost the will to live after that. So here I'm grading. I finished all of your portfolios, so please check out those grades. There were a couple of you for whom I could not open documents, so please check your email. I emailed you about that. If anyone would like to discuss their grade and any more specifics, totally happy to. I did fill out a rubric on people, and if there were any big questions, I tried to provide a few more comments. Some people did really well. Some people really faced some challenges, often on completing required components of the assignments, like scholarly sources, citation, all of the things that are going to be important for this week's work and the rest of the portfolio. So it is important that you understand where things might have gone wrong on that last one and be in touch with me if you're confused about where any of those issues are. So in terms of this current work then, you should have submitted your observation to the discussion board yesterday. I'm glancing over those, did the completion credit. I'm going to give a few comments here and there, but it looked like a lot of those turned out really well and really interesting. By tomorrow, you should have the first draft of your annotated bibliography. That draft has to have 3 of the ultimate 8 required sources, so just 3 are due tomorrow. 2 of those are primary sources and 1 is a scholarly source. So one reason we do this early draft is so I can make sure you are clear on what a scholarly source is and that you are moving forward on your primary research. So the 2 primary sources can be 2 sources that you completed for the observation. If you did an interview and a survey, those can count as the 2 primary sources. If you only did an interview, then you're going to need to find another primary source, so that at least gives you a little flexibility. These sources, though, have to be cited in appropriate MLA or APA formatting. There's a number of examples about that. So definitely look over the examples. But each source also has to have 2 paragraphs of annotations. So the point of an annotated bibliography is both to give a kind of coherent overview of the research you've done, but also help you track the information. So it's not just about citing your sources on this. This is a research document that helps you keep track of and keep in mind the information that you have found in your research. So the annotations are both about summarizing the source and providing a kind of snapshot of what you think will be particularly useful to your own research. You should also be assessing credibility and reliability in these annotations. So keep in mind that credibility is kind of a complex thing, that to a large extent, scholarly sources you can assume are credible. You may not agree with them, they might not be useful for your research, that's a whole different assessment, but they've gone through a credibility checklist already. Primary sources are almost always narrow. That doesn't mean they're not credible in the sense of being potentially accurate, but you cannot base any wholesale argument entirely on one primary source because by their nature, they are one small snapshot. So they might be authentic, but they're not reliable in the sense of being able to be the entire foundation for an argument. You need a lot of primary material for that. So you should be thinking about that. How do you assess bias? How do you assess scope? How do you think about, can you extrapolate from one individual's experience more broadly for the rest of the analysis that you're making? I'm getting ready to run out of memory on my phone, so I'm going to do a part 2 of this once I delete. I'll go ahead and get this uploaded just to give you a little bit of information. I do want to talk a little bit more about the research process, but please reach out if you have questions on the things that are due tomorrow, and I'll post another video about process in a little bit. All right, stay well.